9 upcoming superhero movies that we are super excited for. Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway, Wonder Woman 1984.
My life hasn't been what you probably think.
What we know so far, very little, but Wonder Woman marked a major turning point for the DCEU, with wildly positive reviews and massive box office, so anticipation is high. Patty Jenkins returns to direct a story that takes place in the year 1984 against the backdrop of the Cold War, timely, with Kristen Wiig playing the villain Cheetah and Chris Pine somehow reprising his role as Steve Trevor. The film was originally scheduled for release in November 2019, but Warner Bros. Opted to push it into the summer corridor of 2020, which is the release date the filmmakers wanted all along. The film was originally scheduled to be released on June 5th, 2020, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Black Widow.
I tell people my sister moved out west.
What we know so far, a standalone Black Widow movie has long been requested by fans, and Marvel Studios finally pulled the trigger, locking in this past-set standalone movie as the first film of the MCU's Phase 4. Scarlett Johansson handpicked indie filmmaker Kate Shortland to direct after an exhaustive search. Florence Pugh plays Yelena, who comic fans know as a character who eventually takes on the mantle of Black Widow, while David Harbour plays Red Guardian, the USSR equivalent of Captain America. The film was originally scheduled to be released on May 1st, 2020, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. The Batman. What we know so far. This one has been a long time coming. Warner Bros. Finally got Ben Affleck to agree to direct and star in a Batman standalone called The Batman in 2015, with Affleck having penned a script with Jeff Johns. However, Affleck subsequently stepped down from the director's chair, opting instead just to star in this standalone, while Warner Bros. Set Dawn of the Planet of the Apes filmmaker Matt Reeves to take the helm instead. After over 2 years of rumors as to whether Affleck would or would not star, Warner Bros. Has finally confirmed that he'll be moving aside and making way for a new Caped Crusader. Reeves' take is described as noir-tinged and will star Robert Pattinson as a younger Batman Bruce Wayne than Affleck's iteration. Pattinson beat out Nicholas Hoult for the role, with Zoe Kravitz subsequently cast as Catwoman and Jeffrey Wright cast as Commissioner Gordon. Jonah Hill was in talks to play the Riddler, but when those talks broke down, Paul Dano was cast as the iconic villain instead. Colin Farrell subsequently signed on to play the Penguin. The film will also be honing in on the detective aspect of the Batman comics that hasn't been fully explored in the films, and began filming in early 2020 in London. Greg Fraser, Rogue One, will be the cinematographer, and Michael Giacchino, War for the Planet of the Apes, will compose the score. The film was originally scheduled to be released June 25th, 2021, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I keep a watch list of individuals and beings from other realms that may be a threat to this world.
What we know so far. While 2016's Doctor Strange was no doubt intended to start a new franchise, the follow-up was put on back burner, so Benedict Cumberbatch's character could take on a key role in Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. In December 2018, it was revealed that Derrickson had quietly closed a deal to return and direct the Doctor Strange sequel, and at San Diego Comic-Con 2019, Marvel confirmed that Derrickson and Cumberbatch are returning for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Derrickson described the sequel as the first scary MCU film, and it will co-star Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, with events that tie directly into the Disney Plus series WandaVision. But in January 2020, Derrickson left the director's chair over creative differences. He retains an executive producer credit, but Marvel subsequently entered negotiations with legendary filmmaker Sam Raimi to take on directing duties. The film was originally scheduled to be released on May 7th, 2021, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. The Suicide Squad.
It's taking some work, but I finally have them.
What we know so far, David Ayer definitely isn't coming back to direct the sequel, and Warner Bros. Looked at some intriguing names for his replacement. Mel Gibson was approached towards the end of 2016, but Warner Bros. Eventually moved on and offered the movie to Jaime Collet-Serra of The Shallows and Nonstop fame to take the helm, only to see him pass. Gavin O'Connor, the accountant, was subsequently set to direct, but when his take came out similar to the plot of Birds of Prey movie, which is going into production first, he became frustrated and moved on. Subsequently, Warner Bros. Tapped former Guardians of the Galaxy 3 filmmaker James Gunn to write a script from scratch and potentially direct. Indeed, months later it was announced that Gunn will very much be directing this film, which is titled The Suicide Squad and is rumored to be more of a reboot than a sequel. It is unclear exactly how many of the original cast members from the first film will return. Will Smith has already confirmed he's out, but Margot Robbie, Jai Courtney, Viola Davis, and Joel Kinnaman are expected to return, and Idris Elba is signed on to play a new character. Additionally, David Dastmalchian is Polka Dot Man, Daniela Melchior is Ratcatcher, and John Cena is Peacekeeper. Steve Agee Feige is voicing King Shark, and Nathan Fillion and Taika Waititi are playing undisclosed roles. Filming began in September 2019 and was wrapped up in February 2020. Gunn has said that despite the COVID-19 shutdown, the film's release date is on track. Thor: Love and Thunder.
No.
What we know so far. Marvel signed Thor Ragnarok filmmaker Taika Waititi to return and direct Thor 4 in July 2019, but at a Comic-Con a few weeks later, Marvel broke the big news. The film will feature a return of Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, who becomes the MCU's first female Thor. She will co-star opposite Chris Hemsworth as, well, Lebowski Thor, I guess, and Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, who was deemed King of Asgard at the end of the Avengers Endgame. In January 2020, Christian Bale entered talks to join the cast as the villain. The film was originally scheduled to be released on November 5th, 2021, but was pushed due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sequel. What we know so far. Sony Pictures put into motion plans for a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sequel shortly after the successful launch of the Oscar-winning animated movie, but the creative team is a bit different. Phil Lord and Chris Miller are returning as producers, but the Legend of Korra alum Joaquim Dos Santos is in the director's chair working from a script by Dave Callahan, Wonder Woman 1984. Black Panther 2.
Protecting this city.
What we know so far. Pretty much nothing, but Ryan Coogler is coming back to write and direct Black Panther 2, and Chadwick Boseman will obviously be returning to the title role. As of 2019, Coogler has turned in a treatment to Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige. Coogler and Marvel are taking their time on this one, which is wise considering the first Black Panther became the first superhero movie ever nominated for the Best Picture at the Oscars. The pressure is on. Justice League Dark. What we know so far. Warner Bros. Has been developing an adaptation of Justice League Dark for a while now, with Guillermo del Toro first writing a script a few years ago before departing the project. But with the DCEU now up and running, Edge of Tomorrow and The Bourne Identity helmer Doug Liman signed on to direct in August 2016, and then left the project in May 2017. Warner Bros. Was eyeing an A-list ensemble for the pick, which focuses on the DC superheroes with more supernatural powers as opposed to the bright and shiny heroes of the Justice League proper. The protagonists of the Justice League Dark aren't exactly anti-heroes either, as the comics lineup has included folks like John Constantine and Swamp Thing. Most recently, we learned that J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot Company are developing a film and TV series adaptation of the property under their new deal with Warner Bros. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.